double act, and I was like the first intro, you know. And, you know, usually in East London, you can't get in there unless you're like about 84. But I could get in because I was working, you know. It's very old people go. And we call it like the Blue Rinse Brigade. That's what anyway, it's very sweet, it's very nice and all that. And anyway, I went up and they said, and we've got, Ray's going to do a fable for us. Ray, would you please come to stage? And there was these two little, very sweet old ladies, and they're sitting at the front like this. And I said, yes, nice to meet you all, friends. And this is, I said, the first fable, you know, this fable I'm going to do is called Larry the Leopard. And these two women are looking, and she went, did he just say leopard, dear? And she went, yes, I think he did. Because this is not the sort of thing that you expect in spiritualist churches to have fables about leopards. Well, not from what I saw. Anyway, so this is one that I wrote. I wrote this a long time ago. All these fables I wrote a long, long time ago. This was written 15th of April, 1994. And it's called Thomas the Tarantula. Thomas the Tarantula lived in Brazil's northeast. Not the prettiest sight, an eight-legged beast. Didn't worry him on this boiling hot morn. He just couldn't dance or kick up a stool. He cried out loud, I feel like I've 8 left feet, and the problem is they always seem to meet. I try to dance with panache and style. Whenever I start, it's like a test of the trial. Then I get nervous, my feet turn to jelly, then it all falls apart, and I fall flat on my belly. But Thomas was a trier and did endure heckling from others, which cut him to the core. With blisters on the bottom of his legs and limbs, he felt like he should be thrown in a bin. I don't believe it. Samba should be in my blood. It should pour out of me like a tropical flood. I'm no quitter. I'll keep on till I get it right. Then I'll move with style. An amazing sight. He moved left, shimmied ungainly to his right, tripped over his uncoordinated feet. Such a sad sight. I'm enjoying this. Others laughed as tears streamed to the ground, with no sympathy for Thomas to be found. He had pride, even if he lacked rhythm and grace. He couldn't stop, as he'd lose absolute face. Unnoticed, a female tarantula stood by his side, watching him persevere with passion and pride. She didn't let on she knew what she was all about. She was a tarantula of style in the final show. Finally, Thomas collapsed in a big heap of dust, feeling there were none on earth he could trust. All the animals left, as the laughs had been had, to return tomorrow to continue their newfound fad. Thomas felt her presence as he panted and heaved. She picked her words carefully, wanting to be believed. Can I ask you to escort me over the termite mound? We'll find your rhythm, dancing to the samba sound. Please come as I respect you. You won't accept defeat. I'll introduce you to those dancing nimbly on their feet. Manina, I'll gladly come and certainly do my best. I'll give it my best shot with all my verve and zest. Practice makes perfect, she said, a proverb from the past. Let's me and you get out of here and give it a good blast. They left that place of abject mockery and grief. Truth be known, for Thomas, it was a huge relief. Nothing was seen or heard for a mighty long time. Gossips in the community said he got locked up for a crime. But all was forgotten for the most special time of the year, the carnival with dancing, fun, cachaça and beer. The preparations took a full year to conclude. It was done now. Everyone was in a party mood. Eyes then turned to a blaze of colour by the hanging vines. It was Thomas and his companion, dressed up to the nines. Did you know what that means? Okay. Because I'm English, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, both looked fab, cruising down to dance. So cool, they looked like they'd arrived there by chance. Don't mean he's got rhythm, said a petty-minded bat. Bet he trips over his feet, said a narrow-minded cat. spat cat. You get the point. Thomas looked with complete contempt and disdain. Both recoiled back, like they were in lots of pain. Then the music started. A roar came from all there. It was time for common creatures without a care. All looked good, but eyes turned to Thomas and his mate. They stole the show that day, as both looked great. His hairy legs shimmered to the hypnotic samba beat, moving so fast you'd have thought he had 50 feet. He gyrated like a winner. What a picture of beauty he was. It had all started when she had tried to help him, 'cause he wouldn't give up with his setbacks through and through. So remember, practice makes perfect. For Thomas, me, and even you. So yeah, so these fables are something that I really had I really got into these, and I was writing all these different ones, and they would all have different morals and things and that and everything else, and I'm like, these are really good. You know, I mean, they're all right, they're good, you know. So it was a period, it was a funny period, it was about a 2-year period where this was pouring out of me. I was getting about 2 or 3 fables a day at different times. I've now got 94 of these. 94, I know, it's loads. And so here's another one, this is a good one, I think you'll like this one. This is called, now this one is another one about a spider. For some reason it's spiders. I get like that. I don't really question it that much. This one is called The Ongoing Saga of Sid the Spider. Okay. Sid the Spider was an insect of experiences and trials. Creatures would seek his advice for miles and miles. All were comparable to him in stature and size as he gobbled up any opportunistic prize. He dealt with lack of conscience and pride, overcoming them both like thorns in his side. Life moves on. A spider can't dwell in the past. If they did, they'd perish. They just wouldn't last. I don't think that much what the future's about. I'm a spider, not a scientist, in the final shout. Sid was ever so clever. No flies on him. Any clothes he'd devour them, and even eat their skin. I like flies, though I'll eat anything in my space. For smaller insects, this is a real dodgy place. Passing birds try to catch me. I don't think so. Some places are dangerous, so I just don't go. As I said, Sid was very clever in his own natural way, using his intelligence to keep nasty creatures at bay. Sid was spinning a web, always strong and sticky. He was like an artist, creating something intricate and tricky. He went to the ground to admire his intricate wonder. There was a loud crack. It was rain and thunder. Didn't bother Sid. He lived outdoors all the time, born tough to survive, whatever temperature or climate. Suddenly, to his left, a fast-moving ant was coming his way. Why he hadn't seen Sid, it was hard to imagine. Hard to say. Didn't bother Sid. It was like hitting the jackpot stake. It meant nothing to him that this ant had made a fatal error and mistake. Anton the ant bumped into Sid, then stopped dead still. He was in mortal danger, being the spider's next meal. Both stood facing each other, neither moving at all. Anton nervously, I said that well actually, I won't say it again, looked up at the lethal spider, so it's a hard word to say, you know, it is, nervously. Now, I'm pleased about that. I don't know about I'm impressed. Yeah. He said, the ant, please move your body and the 8 legs aside. His voice didn't quiver, saying it with courage and pride. Unbelievable, said Sid, an ant ordering me, Sid the spider around. Shortly you'll be lunch, never making another sound. How do you figure that? Said Anton, twitching his antennae as ants do. Because I'm a spider and you're an ant. My kind eats the likes of you. You're mistaken, said Anton. You don't know who you're dealing with at all. Don't be fooled by my appearance. I'm lethal, even though I'm only small. Sid laughed. His 8 legs and body were shimmering and shaking. Well, I've heard it all, he said. It's obvious you're lying and faking. Am I? Said Anton, moving a little bit closer, showing no fear. This abnormal behaviour confused Sid. He felt murky and unclear. How do I know you're truthful? Said Sid, not taking me for a dummy. The situation had changed dramatically. No longer was it entertaining and funny. You don't, said Anton, but back off before I lose my cool. It's not worth you risking your life, acting like a dummy and a fool. Well, what's so special about you, said Sid, trying to get his senses going. He was up against it. His reasoning had now stopped flowing. Plenty, said Anton. I communicate thoughts through the air. Thoughts, roared Sid, are giving me all this worrying care? That's right, said Anton. And if you look behind you, you'll see you were right. Sid turned. Coming towards him was a terrifying sight. One more time. An army of ants were coming to protect their stricken mate, with the bonus of Sid being dinner on their communal plate. His life depended on his speed, which was completely true. He looked like he scaled the web so quickly that he flew. He made it to safety. With ants below him moving around, he saw the colour black on the insect-controlled ground. Hey, Sid, shouted up Anton. Think about this during contemplation. You underestimated my antennae's power to access mass communication. Whoever you are, there's limits to what you can do, what can be done alone. Today with that lesson, Mr. Sid, you have been well and truly shown. So there we go. So, well, where am I? What's going on? Right, okay. So I must admit, I do enjoy the fable side of things, but the books and everything are really going well. I'm sorry about this. I know it's not very professional, but you know what I mean. I'm winging it.
You got another spider?
Eh?
You got another spider?
Okay, stop.
No. Well,
Catherine's
you
very fearful of spiders.
Oh, shame! So you're having a great time, right? Yeah. Oh, you should see the ants. You know, one of the things I really do enjoy about being here, though, in the US, is the hospitality. It is real. It's a great thing and all that. And I went on a road trip recently, and I thought it was really wonderful that they took me into account. I mean, I saw those double yellow lines in the middle of the road, but don't worry, I won't park there. I won't. I get it. It's not a place to park. And also that, you know, the hospitality. You know, the way they put all those dead animals on the side of the road. You know, it's nice. You know, it makes you feel that they care. You know, and but it's also rough and tough. I was in Oklahoma last week, and it's a bit frightening actually. We stopped off at this place, this mate of mine and I, and we ended up getting in a bit of a mess. 1 second. 1 second, me darlings. I'm struggling here to get me bits of papers all what. It's nothing. I'm not at my best at the moment. Oh my God, what's going on? Oh, here we go. So anyway, we stopped off in Oklahoma, and just like there was these cowboys everywhere. I mean, I come from England. I look at them, wow, this is the real deal. And they're like really giving it plenty, you know. They're like something like this. I'm like, whoa, you know, fair enough. And the waitress come up. She was like the men, you know. I know, but she's coming to work. I'm like, oh, geez, you know. So she comes up and she goes, hey Hank, I love the way we skin those critters on Saturday and then eat them. what can I get you all? There's me and my mate there, you know. And I'm like, I'd like strangled eggs on toast, please. You know? She leans forward, says, yeah, well, we don't do strangled eggs on toast, but we add vegetables and we cut them up into little pieces and we put them in a pan, and then we get the mama's chicken eggs before they're born and we fry them. We call it an omelette. And I went, that sounds good. Wishing I had urinated before I sat down. It get a bit messy, you know what I mean. Maybe you don't, but you'll find out. Hey, sorry. No, I can't help myself. Yeah. So she's giving me that. What about toast? And I'm like, we got rye, fly, high, sigh, and die. I recommend the rye. I'm like, I'll take the rye. Good choice, she says, you know. So then we ate and all that, but you know, I like the cowboy thing. I do. I think it's good, but they are. I wouldn't mess with them. I like their hats. No, I do. I think they're really fashionable. Anyway, but you know, in the UK, we're kind of bonkers too, but it's a kind of different kind of bonkers. You know, I remember last time I was there, this lady with this posh sort of Maggie Thatcher accent. She was walking in her garden, and she's like, you know. She looks at me and goes, who are you and where have you come from? She said in this shrill accent. I said, my name is Ray and I've just come from Texas. She says, fine people. I most admire their gun and execution laws. Really? Well, of course. It was just last year my poodle Fluffy ran out of the house and ate my favourite white geranium. And of course she had to die. Because, my dear, as much as I love Fluffy, my heart belonged to the white geranium. And after deep thought, I decided incineration was the most humane way to dispose of her. Would you like to come in for a cup of tea? No, thank you, I'll pass. So we have different ways of putting the lines in it. And I've just about run out of all that I wrote down.
Well then.
Well, okay. Well, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed it. And it was. I enjoyed it. It was a good laugh. So, yeah. There we are.
Did I miss some of your comedy shows that you did during work today?
Like what?
Your emails and you're just being silly. So I was like,
Oh,
it's part of your act tonight.
I know. Actually, I do actually. So that well, actually, I was
some
laying
silly
down
things.
earlier. I was laying down earlier, and I was getting a few things coming. And I'm going, oh, that's good. I'm really like laying down and enjoying this. But I think I'll get up and write these things down. I get a lot of things like this actually. I mean, there was this one thing I got recently. I was in Mexico, and I'm up in this wonderful, lovely panoramic view of the town, San Miguel de Allende, and there's mosquito netting all in my room, so it's impossible for a mosquito to get in. But it did. I can't believe it. This mozzie got in the room, and I'm laying there going, oh yes, it's going. And you know what that means. It's like your life force is diminishing. Not much, but it's diminishing. So I'm doing it like I'm like some religious fanatic, you know, like some, I don't know, whatever, but I'm like knocking the stuff out. I'm like, this is crazy. So I turn the light on. It disappeared. Disappeared. I'm like, so I thought, okay, I'm going to get smart with this. I know what I'll do. I'll have a sheet up to here, I'll get a towel, and when it comes and bites me, I'll smother it. Foolproof, no worries, right? So I do this, and it's and all that, I'm like, yeah, and it comes